that-a-way.
Part 2 of the SEGA Star Trek Cockpit restoration is officially on deck, and today we're upgrading the right-hand control panel buttons to something fancy. Not new car smell fancy, more like the United Federation of Planets just got a budget increase fancy. These are the new Star Trek buttons. Translucent, colorful, and scientifically engineered to make you feel like you're firing photon torpedoes while seated in a wood chair. We've got tinted ones, we've got transparent ones, and these bright LEDs will give them that classic don't press this unless you mean it glow. The game uses leaf switches under each button, little mechanical hugs that say you pressed a button the way nature intended. So we'll be adding these Raleigh leaf switch adapters to keep that authentic 1980s clickety-crunchy feel alive. It's now time to remove the old buttons with a bit wrench because my hobbies require both patience and specialized arcaded button hand tools. If you enjoy tedious finger-numbing work that accomplishes almost nothing for the first 10 minutes, this is the job for you. Maybe. One button down, one to go. Everything else gets shoved aside, like how my ex used to clear the dinner table before each meal. And hey, no body damage this time, so that's always a win. This one's got a ground strap, so out comes the nut driver. That's what she said. You're welcome. Okay, gross layer of grime on top. It's like everyone who ever played this game used barbecue sauce as hand lotion. We cleaned one off camera, but let's hit the rest with simple green and a magic eraser. Works like a charm. 30 years of fingerprints gone. The overlays are cracked and yellowed, but that's fine. We'll replace them soon. For now, look at that shine. Our new buttons come from ParadiseArcadeShop.com, the same fine people who traded me this Star Trek cabinet for my old discs of Tron glass. Yes, it's as weird a trade as it sounds, but somehow it worked out. We've got 2 buttons in the panel already. That's what she said again, and I'm not even sorry. Just need to tighten the rest. And voila, look at that. Modern Starfleet luxury. The transparent buttons will need internal wiring for their LED glow, so right now we're just dry fitting them, making sure they fit properly before we start a small electrical fire. Now comes the fun part, feeding wires through tiny holes. Nothing was easy in the 80s when this machine was built. If they could make the hole a wire went through smaller, they did it. We detach one button, thread the wiring, and shove the LED into place. Boom! Success! Took 10 minutes, which is the exact amount of time it takes to question your life choices. Come on, everyone's doing it. All right, everything's reattached, buttons still click, and I didn't lose a finger. Time for our prerequisite video editing magic. Finger snap. Everything's wired, including me. Thanks, Monster Energy Drink. Another snap, all installed. No button puns this time. I've matured, but only slightly. It starts raining outside because of course it does, so we rush inside before the electrical gods decide we've angered them. We install the transparent buttons on the other control panel, and bam! 5-volt switcher is now lighting up everything. Let's bask in its glory. Ah! Before we begin, I decided to mow the lawn. Not because it needed it, but because I wanted a clean workspace, you know, like a surgeon. If that surgeon worked in his backyard surrounded by lizards and vintage electronics. So, what are we doing again? Yes, we're doing something called retrobrighting, which sounds like a chemical crime, but is actually a totally legit process. You take a gooey mystery substance, rub it on things that have turned yellow over the decades, and somehow they turn white again. It's like time travel, but for plastics. A little weed whacking, a little leaf blowing, and we're ready for science. Step 1, remove the side panels from the Star Trek cockpit. Only 3 bolts hold these things in, which is terrifying. You'd think someone would have just walked off with one in 1986. Hey, where's the right side of the Enterprise? Some guy took it. Everything's laid out, and I've chosen my test subject in the top panel. I tape off the edges like a responsible adult and set it on cardboard in the yard. The cardboard is purely decorative, by the way. I don't know why I even brought it. And because I like living dangerously, I applied the Retrobright with bare hands. Yeah, apparently that's a bad idea. Learned that one fast. My hand immediately turned white like I'd just shaken hands with a ghost. So yeah, wear gloves. A little saran wrap on top, a little patience. And 8 hours later, boom! It looks incredible. I mean, it's white, like suspiciously white. I'm talking brand new out of 1979 white. I pull the wrap off the artwork. No damage, no warping, no melted disaster. I feel brave now, maybe too brave. Let's do all the other parts. This time I actually clean them first. I probably should have done that before I smeared chemicals all over the first one. Live and learn. Rubber gloves on, panels lined up, ready to bake in the Texas sun. Retro brighting, baby. It's just hydrogen peroxide with a PhD. I repeat this process several times when the retrobrite becomes either dried out or totally evaporates. I can't tell which because it's too bright to look at closely. I've also misplaced my arcade restoration sunglasses. They're probably in a Pac-Man cabinet somewhere. I leave them out for most of the day. When clouds rolled in, I just shook my fist at the sky like a mad scientist yelling, "You stupid sun!" And the sun, being the sun, ignored me completely. Hours later, the difference is wild. The yellow is gone, replaced by glorious fresh white panels. I can't stop staring at them. I even ordered more Retro Bright from Amazon because apparently I'm addicted now. Look at this one. Perfect, beautiful, clean. And this one. Okay, it's a little uneven, but whatever. It's Retro Brightened now, at least. Next, we grab all our Star Trek metal parts, the same ones we heroically pried off the cabinet last episode, and toss them in the truck along with a pile of rusty coin doors I've been hoarding for 2 years. 2 years? You know you've got a problem when your office looks like a scrapyard from a failed Chuck E. Cheese franchise. We're headed to Bayou City Powder Coaters, the finest establishment in Houston that can make metal look more glamorous than it has any right to. These guys can do anything. Gloss, matte, wrinkle, sparkle. Basically, if you can describe it, they can bake it onto metal until it's shiny enough to blind your enemies. Inside, hanging on the wall, is our goal. The perfect example of that deep, industrial black coating that whispers, "This used to be trash, but now it's art." I love this place. They even helped us fabricate custom coin boxes for Atari cocktail tables once. We sold them all, so don't even ask. We say our emotional goodbyes to the rusty relics, entrust them to the powder coating gods, and hop back in the truck. Just as I'm feeling good about being productive, my phone buzzes. The post office just dropped off something. And if you know me, that means one thing: unboxing video. The updated power supply board has finally arrived, featuring the newest revision, Rev E, the Cadillac of circuit boards. I think it powers both the G08 monitor and the game boards, but don't quote me, I just work here. But this isn't the only box we're opening today. Oh no, this is just the warm-up act. But first, we have a job to do. The game has been trapped in the garage for months, like a retired starship waiting for one last mission. But today's the day. We're finally bringing it inside to finish this thing once and for all. The plan, wedge it right into this corner of the kitchen because nothing says culinary inspiration like a 6-foot space battle simulator staring at you while you make eggs. I start pushing it up the ramp because this game is roughly the weight of a small moon. We're now up to the deck level, which is awesome, and we start to wonder against all odds if this thing fits through the patio door. And it does, but just barely. But hey, it's in the kitchen, we did it! Now, on to the fun part, the boxes. You might remember the original power supply that supposedly worked. We're swapping it out for this sleek new revision E-board we just opened. Let's set that aside and examine the real goodies because the refurbished parts are back. You're gonna be all, look at that shine. We even got our metal pieces back from powder coating and they're glorious. Those vents, gorgeous. The bars, stunning. The Star Trek coin door? Okay, fine. That one didn't get done, but the Donkey Kong coin door we pretended to throw away in a previous episode did, and it's looking like it just graduated high school. Now, let's talk electronics. Here's the game boards box. This thing has more boards than a mid-90s LAN party. We've also got the deflection board, the neck board, and the input clamp board, which sounds important even though I barely understand it. Oh, and the high voltage cage. Don't stick your fingers in there or your hair will do impressions of Doc Brown. We've also got this massive transistor heatsink with a fan attached, basically a metal cube that exists just to make sure your monitor doesn't turn into a campfire. Sega's G08 monitors are notorious for being unstable, so sending these out for refurb was a very good life choice. Now it's bolt time. These things have been rolling around in the tumbler for weeks. We'll paint them a nice semi-gloss black because that's how you tell people, hey, I care, but not enough to pay for 100% gloss. The last few stragglers are located and extracted while my mind started wondering, hey, is there an empty box around here? Until I remembered that, dude, I just opened like 20 boxes. So I grab this one out of the recycle bin and I just start going to town with all the screws, yeah! I like to insert each screw into a box so I can spray, rotate, spray, and of course, rotate. Second coat, naturally. I'm not like Biff when he says he was just putting on the second coat. Now, Biff, don't con me, right? Next, we remount the side panels, which sounds simple until you realize I'm trying to do it without removing the T-molding. It's an exercise in patience and mild swearing. You may remember how effortlessly I pulled these panels off back when we were retro-brighting them. I was like, look at me, I'm Mr. Confident Restoration Guy. Well, fast forward to today, and I have absolutely no idea where anything goes. It's as if someone shuffled all the parts while I was asleep just to test my patience. And then there's the monitor, which, as it turns out, will block at least 4 bolts the second I mount it back inside the cabinet. It's as if SEGA designed this just to keep repair technicians humble. Does the fun ever start? Eventually, I get all 6 bolts in and take a step back to admire my work, and that's when I realize this thing might not fit through the hallway. But it's fine, totally fine. Worst case, I can pretend the game is a new permanent kitchen feature.
Fire!
We're gonna pop into the arcade room and grab the G08 body that's here. It doesn't have any electronics on it. I'm gonna vacuum it up because it's been under here for a little bit, and we're going to reassemble it. The only thing is, I'm gonna do it while telling TV jokes. So send your wives, your girlfriends, whoever doesn't like a dad joke, they need to leave right now. So here we go, folks, in 3, 2, and 1. What do you call an incarcerated late-night TV show host? Jimmy Fallon. There's a program about the history of perfume on TV tonight. It's on at 8 p.m. on Chanel number 5. Television is a medium because anything well done is rare. What did Master Yoda say when he saw himself on the television? HD am I? How does a dog stop a TV show? He presses pause. I hit the control for the TV. I'm not even remotely sorry. Last night, me and the wife watched 3 DVDs back to back. Luckily, I was the one facing the TV. What do you call a smart TV? Intelligent. What TV shows are squeaky clean? Soap operas. 2 TV antennas meet on a roof, fall in love, and get married. The ceremony was boring, but the reception was brilliant. Hey, did you hear that ESPN is broadcasting this year's origami competition? I heard it's pay-per-view. I don't get that one. Is that a joke? No. Okay. What does a 4-wheeled vehicle and a television have in common? They're both a TV. Ugh. These go down the road, I see. I saw an ad that read, TV for sale, $1, volume stuck on full. I thought to myself, I can't turn that down. What do you call a regular potato broadcasting sports? A commentator. My favorite crime TV show has a duck as the main character. He always quacks the case. My wife says she's divorcing me because of my obsession with television dramas. But will she leave me? Find out next week. Whoever named it a television should have called it a watching machine. What do you call a kangaroo who watches too much TV? A pouch potato. And this is the last one. What TV show did the astronaut appear in? Dancing with the Stars. So what have I been doing while cracking jokes? Well, I put all the monitor parts together, but what are those parts and what do they do, you may ask? Let's review in a hopefully entertaining way. First, the CRT short for cathode ray tube is the big glass tube that actually shows the picture. It's the soul of the machine if souls hummed at 15,000 volts and could kill you for touching them. The deflection board is the circuit board that tells the electron beam where to go on the screen, the X and Y axes, the horizontal and the vertical, the don't fry yourself coordinates. The neck board, that's the little one that plugs into the actual neck of the CRT and controls the red, green, and blue guns. Basically, the RGB Dream Team. Next up, the high voltage cage. That's the part responsible for generating the voltage that makes the screen work and my anxiety spike. Inside it lives the flyback transformer, which sounds like a piece of NASA hardware, but really just makes static that could reset your pacemaker. Then there's the deflection transistor package, also known as the heat sink assembly, which is fancy talk for the thing that gets hot and pretends it's fine. It's got a fan, it's doing its best. And finally, the input protection board, a tiny little bouncer that guards the video signals from harm. So in summary, we've got boards, tubes, cages, heat sinks, and danger. But hey, we actually learned something, which frankly wasn't the goal, but we'll take it. We've got plenty more ahead, so if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join this starship of questionable decision-making. Drop us a like if you enjoyed the video. Even a polite one counts. I'll take it. And of course, ring that notification bell because nothing says I live dangerously like letting YouTube surprise you at random with more vintage electronics content. So until next time, keep your phasers charged, your bolts labeled, and your coffee strong because we're nowhere near done with this Star Trek saga.